So David, you look quite young, and I know you were very young when you did Daniel back in the day. Is there any chance you can still do the voice right now?
If you come back in a couple of hours, we're going to do a read-through of a script, and maybe that will answer that.
Okay, I'd love to find out. I'm going to...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Hal, I liked Snarl. He was one of my favorite Dinobots. I love the voice. So a couple questions about that. There were key scenes in Transformers the movie where Snarl disappeared. I know you had nothing to do with that, but you...
No, I was the editor.
Yeah. That was all you.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. And the question for all of you, do you guys have any interesting Wally Burr stories or stories about interacting with any of the other G1 voice actors that really stuck with you over the years?
That you can tell in public.
That you can tell in public.
Well, I can tell you the first time I met Frank Welker, I asked him, do you give lessons? And he said, no. And I wish he did, because he's just amazing.
Oh, he's the champ.
He's and also one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I don't know how to answer the question. I guess I don't have a problem with anybody. And Wally Burr was one of those guys who, yeah, he was difficult, but like I say, 30 years later, we're still here doing this. And he had a distinct way of how he wanted the line done. And when I was new, so I felt like every time I showed up, I did everything wrong. And then I later learned that no, it's because Wally would like to play the part, and so he wants me to do it the way he would do it if he were playing the part, and that's kind of what was in there. So but that's not wrong on Wally's part, because Wally was, you should see the scripts and the layouts. He had little diagrams and drawings. This guy, I don't think if he slept during the entire Transformers G.I. Joe period, because he was doing everything, and he was on top of everything.
Did he? It almost sounds like he gave you line readings. Did he give you line readings?
Oh, are you kidding?
Well, that is the biggest no-no for a voice. I mean, actors
I know
hate
that.
line readings.
Well, this is what Orson Welles. He started to line read Orson Welles, and
dear
Orson
God.
Welles says,
Yeah, but he's
"You're
not
not going to line read me, are you?" And he goes, "Oh no, I wouldn't do that."
Oh my
No,
God!
I was in. I actually Orson Welles had just recorded, and then I walked in with Leonard Nimoy, and we recorded after him. But the snifter was still sitting there with the Perrier and the bottle beside it in the chair. I was telling a story about the interesting thing about him showing up for the thing is they sent a limo for Orson Welles, and he decided he didn't want to ride in a limo, so he put the wheelchair in a limo, and he rode with a buddy in the back of a Cadillac convertible that was a beat-up piece of crap, and they pulled into the into Wally's in this beat-up convertible. Orson gets out, and in comes the limo, and out of the limo comes the wheelchair. He sits down, they wheel him in. While they're in there recording him, Hasbro people and other people are lying on the floor in the side room watching beneath the screen and the bottom of the floor, watching Orson record. And that's, I mean, he didn't know that, but he's gone now, so I suppose it's not going to hurt having that out. But there were actually people there watching him when he gave directions that no one was to be there.
Wow. No.
But, I mean, you think about it. He started in War of the Worlds, and he ends up as a world that devours other worlds. That's full circle, baby.
I would love to be a fly on the wall seeing Orson Welles and Wally Burr interact, like two powerful figures like that.
That would be, I would like to be a fly on the wall for that.
I can guarantee you Wells won.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering.
Well, the line reading thing, just to offer a little bit of a counter perspective, this was the 80s, and it was a little different than film acting, a little distinguishable doing animation versus being on camera, and we all know, actors, we don't want the director to tell us how to read a line, but I had the experience in many different cartoons that I worked on where the director or directors were very particular in terms of how they wanted the line to sound. And so did the studio, so did the powers that be.
Stu Rosen.
So to speak.
Oh, dear Lord.
But,
First voice director on Turtles, and
Yes.
he got fired off of it like
That's the reason
after.
why I didn't get to audition.
Yeah, well, and you know who? Well, Sue, of course. Sorry. Inside ball talk.
No, it's good. And you had asked about stories of people, memories. Kind of going back to a previous part of the conversation, some of my best memories of doing voiceover work is when the whole group was assembled and we were all working together. And that was, for me at least, pretty common and magical. For us to all be in the room together, look in each other's eyes, as you said, Scatman Crothers, and I mean, just legends.
Legends.
All working together with us. Quickly to answer your question, I have really good memories of that when we worked on the film with Judd Nelson. He was very cool, as I recall, working with him. So that stands out for me. And obviously, all the other actors. In fact, I remember when you, the Dinobots, when you guys were reading together, I was watching you read and listening, and that, again, is another memory that stands out to me, getting to hear all these voices that I was a kid who was a fan of the Transformers and G.I. Joe, and then getting to see the people that actually did these voices. So that, yeah, tons of those sorts of memories stand out.